This time from Lionel. What is Schrödinger's cat theory from a Hermetic point of view? It's an interesting one. But first, understanding Schrödinger's cat theory in itself would compose a long video. One of the first, so we would have to ask what is this theory? And there are many theories about this theory in the scientific field to start with, then transposing it to the through Hermeticism. That being said, let's try and skip it as best as we can. For instance, so to give it context, this theory says because of quantum, when in superposition, if a cat is locked inside a box, then when we don't know if the cat is alive or dead, the cat will be both alive and dead until observation, since observation changes the outcome on a subatomic level. Something like this, roughly explained. Now, Einstein, the famous Einstein, his take on this theory and correspondence with Schrödinger, his correspondence with Schrödinger helped Schrödinger build this theory. So Einstein is in it, is involved in it. The purpose was to show, and Einstein highlights this, that reality cannot be divorced from experience, or should not, or else it becomes a bad orientation. Now this Einstein's explanation in itself has some contradictions, because as soon as he's discussing this theory and reading about it and thinking about it and so on, he's already dealing with this topic and the contents of this topic, so he is experiencing something. The mind also experiences things. So that being said, I'm not about to go over his theory. I love Einstein, but I don't think he's being very sound in this. Although I get the point. Now, there are other theories about this theory, and one tells, and this I have experienced this in many ways within my occult practices. One of the theories tells that we observe forwards and the future observes backwards. So in a way, the outcome, is the cat alive or dead? The outcome is a temporal. When these two currents meet, the outcome is decided. And in a sense, there is no dualism in terms of this outcome. the cat theory, as it was first formulated, seems to imply we only have the present moment to decide things, and that all is decided upon the present moment. There are many variations at play, many forces at play in the universe. So this is one thing, and then there's one or two theories that say, and seems so obvious to me, this first part, that the cat is an observer himself. Of course, the cat observes himself or herself. So this is a bad example to start with. But then there is more. Hermeticism might not be pure animism, but it inherits from the animist tradition. There are many animist elements to Hermeticism. It only fears being completely open about its animistic stance for religious motives, and also integration on the culture in which Hermeticism was born. So these theories enter conformity with Hermeticism, and more particularly animism, when they say the cat is an observer, obviously, but also, and that's common sense, but also that the environment itself, so all the reactions on the surrounding context in which the cat is positioned, are also observers. This means chemical reactions, wind, so on, but also that time itself and the evolution of time is an observer. So all these things conjoin together, and the outcome is not really an outcome, it's just the center of all these forces, given the point we choose to observe. Obviously, there is even in quantum science still interprets the universe from the standpoint of the world of effects. It seems to me quantum theory has a lot to explain about the causal world instead. And in Hermeticism, and particularly in Franz Barden's Hermetics, we have the Akasha. In the Akasha, and if we go to Chelema and the concept of crossing the abyss to get to the supernals, which is also a concept within the Golden Dawn. It exists, but not as Crowley put it. In any case, crossing the abyss involves leaving behind duality. So all contradictions collapse within the abyss, and understanding the Akasha is very much the same thing. The Akasha is outside of time and space, although it permeates all time and space. So, at a certain point, or before the opposites collapse or merge, they must exist simultaneously. And that's this simultaneous existence is exactly what permits the light, the principle of light that allows us to cross to this abyss and be rebuilt as something else, as something beyond duality. I call this In the Way of Abrahadabra, my book, one of my books. I call it the antinomian spark, and make it one of the foundational exercises for everything that comes after. It's really the first or second step. You work a lot with this. Thank you.